Hi guys, it's Esther, and guess what? Tomorrow marks 4 months that I've been living the ketogenic lifestyle. I can't believe 4 months have gone by so fast, and I am very happy where I'm at with my food, with my energy, with my cravings. I do not crave carbs. Don't get me wrong, if I see something or smell something at a particular moment, I do still go, I know what that tastes like. But the wake up and want waffles, or the, oh, I want ice cream, or I need this big plate of rice. Well, granted, with the VSG, that wasn't happening anyway, but the desire to have the pasta and the bread, all the breads, it's not there anymore. It really isn't. I'm going to take a slight tangent today. My mom had that minor surgery, and I've got really tired. I didn't sleep well. You know what happened when I came home? On the way home, I got an unwich, a turkey and cheese unwich with sprouts and tomatoes and onions and mayo. And I ate the whole thing minus 2 bites, and it was the big one. You know, they have the smaller size and the bigger size. I ate all that, passed out for like an hour. I got up and had a serving of the parsnip chips from Trader Joe's, had some like 10 turkey pepperonis, had about a quarter cup of a turkey bacon egg salad I do, and I had like maybe 8 flackers. I made the flaxseed crackers this weekend. I tore that food out. And you know what happened right after? I had about half a cup of a diet juice. I ate and drank right after. Like, I never do that. And today was a day in probably 4 months plus that I had that urge to eat and I just ate. But when I look back at what I ate, I'm not saying I can do that all the time, but it was all keto. I have really, really adapted to this lifestyle. I have to be careful though, because any indulgence like that is improper, and really I had just eaten all that food. I should have not eaten again. But it was an odd day. I guess I was stressed subconsciously, and not to mention tired. Like, even, and you're all gonna have that day. I do too. Don't think that we're all immune. Maybe you have them less often. Hopefully I'm in that camp now, but we are all going to have them. Now, back to keto. So December 26, 2016, my husband, my mother, and I adopted the ketogenic lifestyle. That was the time that I was in beast mode. I was working out all the time. I was really cocky. I was doing it. Well, I burned myself out. I burned myself out hard. In some research I'm doing, I might have overstressed my adrenal system, which would make sense because it took weeks upon weeks for me to feel better. It wasn't even the keto thing, because I had a keto flu for like 3 days. Then I was fine, and I've had energy. I've eaten well. I've always stayed within the macros. Then I've adjusted the macros a couple times. It wasn't that. I think I burnt myself out literally. I'm fine now, thank God. But that did a lot, and it was very frustrating not to have, looking back, that activity when I first started keto, because the goal of keto is to get into ketosis and then get fat adapted. When you're fat adapted, that's gold. That means that you eat high fat, moderate protein, low carb, and you eat in such a way that when your body does need more energy aside from the food you ate, it goes to your actual fat stores, your gut, your arms, everywhere you have fat. Now, that's what fat adapted is. You don't know exactly when you enter that phase. I don't know how long it took me. It took me a while. I quickly went into, I do check my ketones. I stayed in the ones for a little bit, then it was consistently in the 2.4s, 2.7s with my keto meter blood test. But last week I was 3.9. This week I was 3.5. The foods I crave, they're not carb at all. I actually log my food after the day. Sometimes I will put in in the middle of the day and at the end, but normally it's at the end of the day. And after I put everything, I'm well within my macros. So I'm eating intuitively. I'm craving the foods that are on plan. I'm not saying I don't think about the other food if I smell it or catch me at that moment, but I don't give in. I don't really want to chew that. My husband had a carb week recently, and I was like, you can keep all of that. I'm not interested. And I really wasn't interested. And I feed my kids, normally. I'm starting to restrict the carbs in certain ways, but not as far as fruit and not as far as the complex carbs. So it's amazing that I'm here, that I'm not dreaming about all the breads and all the pastas. It's crazy. So I didn't see the weight loss at first. I didn't see it at all. And I think that had a lot to do with not exercising in the first quarter of the year. So I didn't push my body to need to use the reserves of fat. But you know what happened in that time? I figured out how to cook the diet, the lifestyle. I figured out what my staples were. I figured out all the greens I wanted to have in my house, the avocados, the oils. I figured that part out. And maybe I wouldn't have figured it out so quickly had I been focused on exercise and nutrition. So I'm thankful for that. That is the silver lining of, darn, I wasn't really active in the first quarter. I was in a different way. I know how to cook for my lifestyle, and I'm cooking for my lifestyle really well. Thanks, Keto Connect. Yes, I love you guys. I will forever sing your glory and praises. And then about beginning of March, I added intermittent fasting to the picture. I was never a breakfast person, and fitting in a breakfast, lunch, and dinner with the macros, because keto is a high calorie lifestyle. Fat has calories. Carbs have calories. Protein has calories. But since you eat so much fat, it's a high calorie macro. So I started learning about intermittent fasting, and I was never a breakfast person. So I naturally am not eating breakfast. I'm naturally trying to eat my last meal by 7 or 8. Whatever time it is I eat my last meal, I make a mental note, and then I don't eat again for 14 to 15 hours. While your sleep counts, you're not eating while you're sleeping. It doesn't say you have to be awake. So then I eat the next day at 11, 12, 1 o'clock, depending on my last bite the night before. And I have 2 meals. I really try not to snack, and that's all relating to not spiking your insulin. Insulin, that little hormone, I think is responsible for a lot of our woes. First comes the up and down with the insulin, and then comes the bad habits, the food addiction, that then stay with us for a lifetime. I know my mind will probably never really shut down the tendencies it has, but I've shut down the physical demand for the foods. And like I said, I succumbed today, and it's all stuff. The Flaxers had like 0 or 1 gram of carbs, and it's just, I'm really pleased. When you have weight loss surgery, yes, RNY is a little different because you do have malabsorption and you can dump. But VSG, I was a VSGer that healed quickly, and I have not found anything I couldn't tolerate. I can eat anything that I want. There might be something out there I can't tolerate, but I haven't come across it. I healed quickly. I was able to eat a lot. I had to start weighing my food before I found this lifestyle, and I still do to make sure I'm within calories. But before I was doing it because I could see myself stuffing more into my mouth, more into my body. It comes to the point that your new normal has come. So how are you handling your new tummy? We can fall into the same bad practices. There's slider foods out there. So seek out what's your next phase. What are you going to do once you are normal? What are you going to do when you're just living your life with a tiny tummy and you want to reach your goals? So I'm ecstatic I found the ketogenic lifestyle. Research the thousands of options that there are out there. There's going to be one that fits you, that's easy, and that you can celebrate and relish being in, and help others adopt it as well. because what works for me could work for you. That doesn't mean it will. So do your research, find something you love, and happy 4 months to me on this ketogenic lifestyle. I'm really enjoying it.